What's going on, New Gaming Order? It's the Juggernaut here with you, with the staff, coming at you for our next installment. Make sure you check out our last two topics on the YouTube. For those of you watching us live, you get the director's cut. The director's cut always get uploaded anyway, and I see we get a lot of views with that. But going into this next topic, Shenmue III, Yu Suzuki, Sony Kickstarter. Now, a lot of people that while I'm at work, I usually listen to Review Tech. I check out different forums, just to get people's thoughts on just different topics, because I don't want to do a podcast and say the same things that they're saying. I try to steer away from putting out the same product. So with that, there was something in terms of the Shenmue. Okay, you got Yu Suzuki coming out at E3 with Sony, asking for $2 million to start the game, right? I'll have you know, Sony is indeed backing up Shenmue 3. Now, here's the problem with that. Sony, and me, and Noop even said it, where if Sony is already funding Shenmue, right? Why are you asking for a Kickstarter? Is it something that Sony is not completely sold on Shenmue? Or they're just going after, just like they're in investment mode this year, where you don't have a lot of first party, but you're trying to pick up a third party thingy, So now, if they were really confident in Shenmue, they would have been like, oh, we're gonna buy this outright. But to ask for a Kickstarter, and it's supposed to just come out on PS4 and PC, me as an Xbox primary player, I wouldn't be kickstarting nothing, because I know the system that I primarily play on, it won't be available for it. Number one, strike one. Strike two, again, how is it that Sony is funding Yu Suzuki? There's even forums talking about, oh, we're not going to talk about who our other investors are. You know it's Sony. Review Tech exposed it. All these other people exposed it. What the hell? That sounds real shady. Why don't you disclose who your investors are? You know what I mean? So if Sony is backing up Shenmue 3 and then you still got a Kickstarter, that's yuck. That's not cool.
Trying to get some money back.
Well, again, my main point, I don't think Sony is completely confident with Shenmue 3. Just look at the Call of Duty. They're like, the new home for Call of Duty. They put money into that. They bought that. Look at Street Fighter, same thing. They had total and utter faith in those franchises, where they threw the money at the third-party developer just to keep it, content and games locked out on that system, right? So why not for Shenmue? If it's gonna be on your system, I have a major problem with that. You know what I mean?
I actually think you answered your own question. I don't think that they're confident in it. I think that they want to see just how many people even know what Shenmue is and care about it to want to play it.
Okay.
So I don't think that they want to invest whatever it costs, or whatever it costs to invest in Shenmue, unless they figure out, like, okay, there's this X amount of people that actually are interested. So I mean, I think you answered the question, perfectly. They just don't trust it.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, you realize the creator, I don't remember his name by heart, but Suzuki, he even said in a recent interview, he was like, yes, that Sony does have an interest in it, but they just don't know what can possibly become of it, since that we haven't made a game in so many years of the Shenmue franchise. And two, he said whether if Sony may be a potential investor or not.
They are, Nelson. We know it.
The way how I see it, I don't give a shit. The game is going to come out regardless.
Yeah, it's going to come out. But then again, don't ask for a Kickstarter
again.
If they're funding it. That's bullshit, man.
Again, at first, it was only funded by Kickstarter because Sony was hesitant to see where this was going to go, because they only have a few members of the original staff that made the Shenmue saga. All right, and they have to pick up new people on board. So again, Suzuki just mentioned within his interview, whether if it's a bullshit or not, I don't care. He said that if Sony and whoever other potential investors don't believe or back him up by the time the Kickstarter is over, he will have whatever money compiled up and make the game regardless, with or without Sony's help.
Wait, okay.
That's just simple. But there's also another debacle that everyone's pissed about. That Suzuki said that if we had $10 million, which I think might not happen, but if he acquires $10 million, not only will he be able to make Shenmue 3 into a ridiculous open world game, but they will have more profit into making Shenmue 4 and finishing the 16 chapters that he intended.
Wait.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be annual releases like Call of Duty. It was supposed to be Shenmue episode this, Shenmue episode that, you know. But people don't know how much it costs to produce one of the Shenmue games, like 40-something million.
And this was 10 plus years ago.
Question.
Yeah, back then.
Let me ask a question. Has anybody on this podcast ever played any of these Shenmue games? What the fuck is it?
No.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Right now.
I have not. Alex's face is priceless right now.
Yeah,
I mean that's
either.
that's the point.
I'm like, what are you supposed to do exactly? Like what?
Yeah, and that's the point in Sony not dropping a bunch of money into it.
Exactly.
It's a 15-year-old franchise.
What are you supposed to do in this game?
It's like a 14-year-old franchise. It was like an action RPG.
But what about Killer Instinct? Microsoft took a chance on Killer Instinct, and look, it came back like a...
There's a reason why
that's
different.
To do that.
Microsoft owns Rare.
Right. And they didn't have any type of fighting.
Kickstarter to start a game that ain't
And you gotta look at it too, Alex. There's always
hold on, there's too many people talking, one at a time.
There's always going to be a shortage of fighting games versus action RPGs. Like, how many action games do we have? So, I mean, Sony was like, people are interested? Okay, we'll give you the money now. So I feel bad, because some people, I know one guy who gave $300 to the Kickstarter.
Wow.
He found out Sony
get my money back.
But there's a big following.
But Takuma, you gotta play the game to understand. Like, Shenmue is a masterpiece.
Let me tell you. Alex put me on the original one on the Dreamcast. That game is back then on the Dreamcast, dude. It puts you in that world. You go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work, you're fighting, you're looking for people. Yo, it was the real deal.
In most of the Zelda games, you can do all that.
Takuma, listen. Let me put it to you. Go play it first, and you'll understand why.
Yeah,
look, you know what I mean? Because you can't comment on it if you don't know why.
Well, this is the thing. I'm sure it's a good game, because I don't believe that the reaction would have been what it was at E3 had it not been a good game. So it's obvious that people, liked the game that played it.
They gave them $20 to clap.
But the thing is, you got people. You got this is a brand new generation. Some people weren't even. Some gamers weren't even born.
Yeah,
they have to
they got paid to clap.
So
what I think is gonna happen? In order to do that, they would most likely release 1 and 2 so people can get introduced to the series.
Right. Well, I mean that makes sense.
He said he would if he get the actual funding for the actual, or whoever fucking funds the goddamn game. They said that they was gonna give like either the 1 and 2 port, or they was gonna do cutscenes of all of the entirety of 1 and 2, which I think
like a CG movie.
Yeah, but I think you should just re-release the game. Honestly, in my opinion.
Just re-release it, yeah.
No more re-releases. I'm tired of seeing the game.
But Goken, like, you see, that's the thing. Like, people don't know. Re-releases, if done right, will actually help. Like, for instance, for if they re-release 1 and 2, again, people won't know what's going. Look, they did it with Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct Arcade Classic.
Nah, that's a reboot. That was a reboot for the new Killer Instinct, but they re-released it for the arcade.
So why don't they just reboot Shenmue? How about they just start Shenmue from scratch again? Don't remake the same first game.
The way Shenmue 2 ended.
You can't.
Why can't you do that? Like,
all right. So hold on. So you're saying that no more remasters, right? Then Nintendo, go bye-bye.
No, you're right.
No. Nintendo, go bye-bye. That's it. It's over. That killed it.
I agree with you. All I'm saying is this. If you look at the consoles now and everything people have to look forward to, it's a remake of the games. Everything I'm seeing right now is like, there's nothing that's really new. Everything
you played the wrong game.
But if you like the game,
version 3, version 4, version 5, version 6, version 7 of a fucking game. Like,
okay. What games are you playing that they got all these versions?
Every time I hear people say that they don't like a remasters, is because they haven't got a remaster that they want yet. It's like once you
not in my case, like that God of War thing looks cool, but in my head I'm thinking, fuck, I played all 3 of the games already.
But it's not intended for you.
Exactly.
It's
you
not
have
intended for you.
all these people that own PS4 never owned the PS3. A lot of them haven't owned the PS3. So, and to me, God of War 3 was one of the best games on PS3. So
that was a good game.
If they want to give them opportunity to play it,
we're gonna have God of War the remaster in 4K or 20K.
That's great. I would play it. I mean, because sometimes you want to go back.
Sometimes you want to go back. This open a can of worms, you know. But
because this is the thing, man. Look, this is the thing. Like I said, man, a lot of people will complain about remasters until, man, you know, I wish they remastered Metal Gear Solid or something, until they remaster something that they want. But then it's the thing that you gotta know that all these remasters ain't gonna be for you. You know, all these remasters, like the Uncharted remaster, the God of War remaster, Last of Us remaster, a lot of that shit wasn't for us that's already played it, unless we want to play it again.
Or if you're like noob, like a collector, you know.
Or if you want to collect, or what you have, everybody has their reasons.
This year, to be honest, is the VR stuff. First-person games in VR. That's what I'm looking for.
So you don't think that there's been any good original releases this year?
I'm not saying that there wasn't. What I'm saying is, as a gamer,
well, hold on. Let's not stray too far.
As a gamer, when I look at what's to come and what sounds and looks exciting, the only thing that looks exciting is the VR. And what the possibilities of what that's going to be like.
I'm still not sold on VR. I'm still not.
Okay, time out. We're going off the Shenmue stuff, but mainly, again, you know, we'll probably bring up the VR and PSAs and such, but in terms of, I'm just a little miffed. Like, if Sony is picking it up for their console, there shouldn't be no Kickstarter for that, because I don't agree with that. That is not cool. But anybody has any alibis before we bring this to an end, before we go to PSCs? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, so Nelson, good. You have anything to end it off with, or we're good?
All I'm saying is, guys, if you want the game to come out, whether if it's Kickstarter or not, you will make it happen. Your voice will be heard if you let it. You reach out there, whether if you do petitions and so forth. So, cause the thing is,
we the people.
Because the thing is, I'm sick and tired of people always having to complain about every little sensitive issue. I mean, this is not even a big issue. Okay, it's getting funded by Kickstarter. You feel like, oh, so if Sony did pick it up, like your money was wasted. Not really, because if he really wanted to, he could just give you the money back. So
Nelson, in this day and age, they're gonna give that money back.
They could. If they're getting picked up by a potential multi-billion-dollar company, they can easily be like, all right, we'll cancel the Kickstarter, and then everyone will just get a full refund within a certain amount of weeks. Done. But again, I have no control of that, nor do I give a shit, because you're gonna want the game anyways. So,
talking about me, Nelson?
So we're ending this topic. That's the end of that. Please like, rate, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because no more Shenmue talk. Stupid now. And we're going to jump into PSAs, and we're going to get it done. So stay on for you live viewers that's watching, and we'll be right back.
Well, damn.